Okay, so what's happening here is we're seeing miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of the blasted remains of hillsides, the wet weather conveyances. And one of the things that the Office of Surface Mining does is there are triggers for what's called an environmental impact statement, which is basically a scientific study that takes input from community members and further analysis of the actual impact of the site. And one of the triggers for an environmental impact statement, or EIS, is acreage. If you get around above 2,400 acres, that's starting to get considered significant and will trigger an EIS. So what the Office of Surface Mining does, and TDEC and the mining companies in conjunction, in collusion with one another, do is they do what's called segmentation. So they'll have a mining project that's like this whole area along the hillside. And say that's like 6,000 acres total, same mining project, and they'll say, okay, this is mining project Buckeye Springs number 1. That's only 2,200 acres. Then they'll break this up and say, this is Buckeye Springs number 2. That's only 2,200 acres. They'll take this one and they'll break it up and say, this is Buckeye Springs number 3. The thing is, it's completely contiguous. It's in the same area. It's adjoining one another. It's the same mining company. It's the same engineering company. It's the same coal seams. They're doing everything they can to avoid doing the basic scientific studies and inventory that would at least enable them to minimize the impact from activities like this. And what it's called is, it's called agency capture. When an agency has been captured by the industry it's supposed to regulate. And that's what's happened here. And another thing that they do is, unarguably, all of these are draining into the same watershed often, but the Office of Surface Mining and TDEC pretend like each one of these sites are completely autonomous and that there's no other mining happening on either side of it. They ignore what's called the cumulative impacts, because this is obviously having a significant cumulative impact on the Tackett Creek watershed, which is what we're above right now. And it's what you're seeing is the agencies in collusion with the industries that are supposed to be regulating bucking and weaving and doing this whole hear no evil, see no evil, and bending over backwards in every way they can to avoid doing the basic scientific studies that would show and avoid. They don't even like the word cumulative impacts because they know there is obviously a cumulative impact. My name is Chris Irwin. I'm with United Mountain Defense. I'd also like to do a quick PSA. Thank you, Appalachia Community Fund, for making this sort of work possible.